Hey everyone, how are you today? I think I just alerted Luke that I was doing something. Let me know if you can hear me whenever you can in the chat. I've had a microphone hooked up to my computer and I'm hoping I'm not talking and muted. So do let me know, and let me know where you are viewing me from. I have new things here I'm going to be trying. Hi. Can you hear me? So I actually have on my eyelid primer already, and it's not new. Hi, okay, great. I'm glad you can hear me. I was nervous because I had to change a default with my microphone to film, and I'm hoping my sound is a little bit better in my last video, which is my December favorites, and my next video, which will be Thursday's video. I think I'm going to do a lifestyle favorites for 2019, which will have brushes in it as well as regular lifestyle things. So Luke's here with me. There's this little booty. Hey everyone. Awesome. Love seeing you guys pop in here. It's I tried to mess with my lighting a little bit to get it a little bit brighter today. So I do have on some eyelid primer. I use this Bare Minerals Prime Time eyelid primer, and I've been liking it. I try to streamline a few steps if I can so that this doesn't run too long, but it always runs a little bit long. And I am a little stuffy still. I swear I've been fighting this for like a week and a half. I don't know if any of you guys are the same. I'm going to be doing a half and half primer thing on my face with two new primers. This is this Glam Glow. What is this thing called? Hey, everybody. It's so great to see you in here. I mean, everybody's just kind of popping in. This is awesome. And I hope everybody had happy holidays and a great new year, too. Let's see. I'm having to unhide a couple. Every now and then, YouTube censors totally normal comments, so I have to unhide them. So I have this new primer here from Glam Glow. Have you guys seen this on Sephora? It is pretty new. It is the Super Mattify 6 Acid Clarifying Primer, and I've actually been using it for 2 or 3 days now because I wanted to see if it was going to dry my face out. So I'm going to keep using it, but I'm going to have this on, I think, maybe this half of my face, and a Laura Mercier, one of her new ones, because I think she has like 6 new ones on this side of my face. I'll talk about that in a second. This says prep, clarify, and prime. The Super Mattify instantly mattifies, minimizes the look of pores, and works to clarify skin with the Super 6 Acid Blend for an always sexy, never shiny, clear complexion. It's infused with pore purifying charcoal. This lightweight primer balm applies clear, creating a silky smooth blurred base for flawless makeup application while providing all-day oil and shine control. It is breathable and helps keep dirt, oil, debris, and makeup from clogging pores for clearer, glowing skin without makeup. So I'll show you how it works. And I was going to try and see if on here it tells you the acids. I mean, I'm just really jumping right in, you guys. It's got lactic acid, salicylic acid, glycolic acid, mandelic acid, tartaric acid, pyruvic acid, hyaluronic acid. It's also got eucalyptus, globulus leaf, charcoal powder. It's got all kinds of good things in here. Way down on the list, there is some alcohol. I mean, it's like almost to the bottom. So that concerned me a little bit, but everything else is so good. I had to try it. And you know, sometimes if I use mattifying stuff, I still get some glow that breaks through today. So I would try it with a foundation that I've tried that is not too shine controlling during the day. And the Laura Mercier primer, she has these new pure canvas primers, and I'm trying the blurring one today that is silicone free. So let's see. So the one that I'm reading about, I'm sorry, I have to cough. The one that I'm reading about is the Glam Glow. The Laura Mercier has nothing on the back. You want me to read about it? I will read about it too. So sorry, I'm just like sniffing and coughing. I'm a mess, you guys. This is just gonna be one of those days that normally I would edit out this stuff. That's what live streams are good for, right? You just get to see all the messy junk that goes along with real life, right? So this is the blurring, because she's got like 6. She's got a hydrating one, a blurring one. Well, let's see. Pure Canvas primer. Let's see the names of all these primers really quickly, because they're all new. Could you guys hear my husband cough in the other room? He's got a cough too. Pure Canvas Primer Collection. She has a blurring, a hydrating, protecting, illuminating, scroll over, perfecting, and a supercharged essence. It's, in my opinion, a little bit hard to choose between them all. So I thought, we all kind of like a little bit of blurring. I'm going to go with the blurring one. It says it smooths, it's silicone free, it blurs the look of skin for a soft focus effect. It's got microalgae and blurring powders. I swear, I hope I'm going to be able to talk today, because I have a social media consult after this, and then I have to film for Thursday. So it's supposed to condition skin over time for an improved look and texture, and absorb excess oil while providing a mattifying effect. Just as a painter primes a canvas, Laura Mercier believes in priming the skin, and she's always been really, really great with her perfect canvas products. I mean, I've been using her stuff for like 20 years. So I'm going to use this on this side of the face and this on this side, and we'll just see how this goes. I'm trying to see if my computer has dimmed or if my lighting has dimmed. Hey, everybody that's popped in, it's good to see you. Tony is asking what everybody's eating for lunch today. That's a great question. What are you guys eating for lunch today? So I'm squeezing this out, and I'm using about a half a pea size amount, because normally I would use a full pea size amount for my whole face. And I'm actually not even going to take that full amount. I'm just going to take, it's probably about half of a pencil eraser size. My hands look huge right now because I'm holding it to this computer. Jennifer says she's nervous that Laura Mercier is changing things. She thinks they discontinue the mineral foundation, the loose one. You know, I don't know. If I think about it, I will look while we're in here. I'm on that website. Let me just get this stuff on my face. Okay, it glides on very smooth, and it doesn't feel too silicone-like. I did put a little bit of corrector underneath my eyes already, because I was looking a wee bit tired this morning. I don't know why Laura Mercier is playing with things. I feel like everybody is changing their formulas I would say this year, but last year, 2019 seemed to be the year of changing formulas, right? And it seems to be going into 2019 because Bite Beauty is also changing their formulas. And the last time they changed their formula, I lost one of my favorite lipstick shades, Musk. And I never found a dupe of that shade. So this, let me see if I can get up close with the mirror really quickly. And I do love Bite Beauty's lipstick formula now, but they are changing it. So who knows what's going to happen, and I can't open this. So we're going to use something else. Okay. All right. Let's see. I know you guys probably can't see because the quality is not as good on my webcam as it is on my regular Canon camera that I use when I film. But let's see. I mean, I feel like it blurred somewhat, but you know, we'll see. I guess we'll see when I have the foundation on a little bit more. I have a little nick here on my nose because Luke jumped on my face and kind of caught my nose the other day when I was laying on the sofa. You can see the difference? Okay, people are saying they can see the difference. Okay, and used a tiny amount. So Natty is looking for a substitute for Laura Mercier's translucent powder. I have actually not been using her powder as much because I've found other powders that I like a little bit better. I do have a video on loose powders that I like. So I will suggest to Nakia Joy's powder, which I'm going to use in this video today, has been my favorite. Now, I don't know what her situation is right now shipping from Australia. So I will suggest powder I love, and the Stila, what it's called? It's in that tube that I hate the dispenser of. I love the powder. I don't know. It's in the gold tube. It's by Stila. So I love those two. Those are two of my favorites. The By Terry hyaluronic powder is really nice, but it doesn't quite mattify as much, but it really does blur the pores. All of them blur the pores. Okay, so the Glam Glow opens up kind of like a cushion foundation, and it's got this spatula, and I was doing this while I was talking, guys. It's purple. I don't know if you can see. I'm hoping you can see that. It's a little bit dim, but you just scoop a little bit out, and it's kind of the texture of a mask, I would say, and I'm going to use about that much. Now, you're supposed to, I scoop it out with the curve, I don't know, the curved outside. I know there's a word for that. I'm just kind of foggy this morning. Because when I scooped it out with the scooper side, it's like I couldn't quite get it all out easily with my finger, and some stayed in there. So I guess I scoop it out backwards. But that lives in there. It's very clean. There's a mirror if you want to use the mirror. It does feel nicely. So you're supposed to take this and rub it in your fingers to activate all of the acids or whatever, and it kind of disappears. Of course, I'm not using this for both sides. It's a little bit awkward right now. But there's really no scent to it. If anything, I can kind of smell the coal, but no fake scent. And so like I said, I've been using this for a few days to see if it was going to dry me out with all those acids in it. And so far it has not. And I'm just bringing it over all my areas and kind of rubbing it in. And I do notice a difference with blurring and with how long I stay shine free with this. So I've really actually been enjoying it, and I feel like my face is staying a little bit clearer when I use it. So I don't know. I feel like I can see a difference in my pores with this one too. So we're going to see how these wear underneath the foundation that I'm going to use today. But it feels good. It goes on very smooth. I'm going to kind of wipe these off my fingers, and they kind of feel very similar on the skin. There's no stickiness. Oh, you guys are sweet. Bobby Liz B says my skin looks good. That's very nice. Thank you. I feel like there's a little bit of a sheen glow over here, but not as much over here, but yet that doesn't make my skin look flat either. So yes, Amanda says she hears even dry people love the Nakia Joy powder. I have reported that on my channel as well, because I've heard that from a lot of viewers that dry skin do Nakia powder. It just really matches with the skin. You'll see when I put it on my face that, you know, I don't have dry skin, but I do have combination skin. I get oily in my T-zone, but the outside part, the perimeter of my face, I cannot think today. The perimeter of my face does get dry in the winter, and it's pretty normal. It's not oily. And it just, you'll see how I apply powder. I just, you know, dab it in until it kind of becomes one with the skin. It never looks heavy. It just looks like skin. It really fuses nicely. So the foundation that I'm using is one that I don't think I've used on my channel before. It's the VDL Foundation. I know a lot of people have actually been wanting me to try this, and I got it from Beautylish a while back. Why does this feel wet? Is something leaking in there? This is supposed to be good for all skin types. I have worn this before, and I feel like it's not really good for oil control, but it's not horrible either. But I haven't really gotten to test it enough. So that's why I'm wearing it today with both primers and with a powder that I know. So I'm just going to take one pump, and I can't remember if it's the right shade for me. Actually, I just took 2 pumps. That looks, yeah, like it'll work. I have my Drunk Elephant Debronzy in here just in case it's a little bit too light, but I think that is going to work okay. Yeah. I wish my webcam quality was a little bit better. Oh, by the way, I do have the shade VO3, which is light medium something. It might be warm. It's light medium something. I have everything linked, by the way, in the description box for you. I will after this closes out. Oh, Jenny D, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, you're definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. You're so authentic and honest. That's so nice. I don't really ever talk about the super chat. I wasn't even really sure how that worked for a while. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know you guys, I do also want to put a link to places you can donate for the Australia fires because it's such a disaster. And I donated yesterday. I just think it's so important. You know, having been through a natural disaster, you know, where I live, it's just anything you can do to help is just so unbelievable. And I saw Nikia's community post about it, and there were some nasty people in her comments. I was actually quite shocked. There were just some people in there being very, very ugly to her about, you know, saying she was filthy rich because she was a YouTuber and what has she done and why would people contribute to her GoFundMe? They should. It was just, I was shocked at the negativity during this kind of a time. You know, when she's trying to use her platform to do a good thing. So anyway, and she's such a nice person too. And, you know, then you had nice people in there talking the reality of it, which is basically what I'm saying. And of course, you know, just because you're on YouTube certainly doesn't make you filthy rich. That comment cracked me up. But I don't know where she ships from, Amanda. If she ships from the US, I don't think she does, because I know when I have ordered from her, this is the Nikia Joy sponge, one of them, by the way, too. When I have ordered, it takes about 2 weeks for the product to get here. So, I know, I don't understand why people get like that either. It's just so uncalled for, and especially during a time like this when something like this is going on and people should be pulling together. You know, it doesn't make sense at all to me. I just don't understand that. Okay, I'm starting in on this side, and I should have pointed out the coverage on this side, which is, you know, definitely a solid medium, and I do plan on building it up a little bit right there, but it looks good. It looks nice and natural. And I think the tone is right too. It might be a little bit light, but not too much. And yes, Elaine, you do have to have a thick skin to be on YouTube. You'd be shocked at some of the comments that we get. It is, people just, you know, keyboard warriors. They really just like to say whatever they feel, things that they would never say to your face. And exactly, Natty, you can't expect for a YouTuber to pay for every disaster. I mean, people have to live, you know, I mean, they do what they can, just like, you know, everyone does. And, you know, just like, you know, everyone works, YouTube is an income. It doesn't automatically make you rich. And I think that's a huge misconception too. YouTube itself, unless you're doing something in addition to just being on YouTube, YouTube AdSense does not pay much at all. Like, that was all it was made money from. You really would not be able to do it as a full-time job unless you had, you know, millions of subscribers. It's, you know, I think that is a misperception. So yes, she is a nurse. She does have a full-time job too. And I'm not sure if she's doing that full-time now or not, or if, you know, she's doing it part-time. I'm not sure. Yes, her powder is, I think I called it basically kind of a powder miracle or something like that in my yearly makeup favorites, because it really does just, you know, backing up, you might use a primer or a foundation that blurs the pores, but when you put this powder on top of it, your pores look even better. It's some kind of a miracle. It's crazy. So this VDL foundation, you can see, I have pretty even skin, and it evened it out even more. You know, any little bit of redness that I had, like you can still see this little nick on my nose, which I don't even know if I'm going to cover that up today. but it's not bad. It's just, I would say medium to full coverage. It looks really nice though. It's got a, I would say demi matte finish. Nakia offers one option for the powder. It's just a translucent loose powder. And I'll be putting it on here in a second. I personally, I'm being asked if I prefer the Laura Mercier powder or the Nakia Joy powder. I personally prefer the Nakia Joy. And that is after, I mean, Laura Mercier was the holy grail for years, you guys, like holy grail. So that's saying a lot. And, you know, I have found others that I, you know, have loved since. That Lancome Long Time No Shine. I do feel like it does control oil a little bit better. I think they're just making powders better now. Not that the Laura Mercier isn't great. It really is. But I don't know. There's something to be said when you kind of find something that surpasses something that you've liked for so many years. So, water break. Okay, I'm going in with the new Hourglass Concealer. Got this last night. I don't know if any of you saw my Instagram stories, but I was at Sephora at 8:30 last night, in and out in 13 minutes. Fastest Sephora trip I've ever had. And I picked up, I intended to just pick this up, but I picked up also the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette. I can open this up and show it a little bit closer, which is very pretty. Have not tried it yet, but I got it late last night. And I picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Charlotte Darling palette, which I swatched it and it seems different from her other formulas somehow. It's really, really pretty. And it seemed like a really nice, great, compact travel palette and kind of shades that are right up my alley. Amanda, what are you asking is heavily scented, the foundation or the concealer? Amanda says 30 minutes. She didn't think that was possible. I didn't either, but they were closing at 9. So I was trying to get in and out as quickly as I could. And as a result, I'm really not sure if this is the right shade for me of concealer. So I have the shade Cedar, and I went in thinking, okay, let's talk about shades for a minute. Let's see. Okay, okay, hold on really quickly. I've got some comments to address. Gavzilla, like that name, 2019 says she loves your Backshades foundation, so good on your base. It's one of my top favorite foundations. But it gave you itchy rashes. Ooh, that's not good. I hate it when I love a product, the product does not love me. Anyone get a reaction to it too? I have not, but it does have a slight fragrance, as do a lot of high-end foundation. Why is that? I don't know. I don't notice a fragrance with this foundation at all. And of course, it was stopped up today, but I think I can still smell. I'm literally just, there is a faint fragrance, but it is not, it's all, I think it's just the product itself. It's not anything that's added. It doesn't smell like it's got an added floral or weird scent or anything. I'm sorry, Tony missed what foundation I used. It was the VDL Perfect Lasting Foundation. So we're going to see how it does over these 2 primers. And if you guys missed anything at the beginning, like the 2 primers that I used, I will have everything in the description box below. And I'm actually going to do an update at the end of the day. I did this with my last Get Ready With Me, Playing With Me makeup. I put in just a little typed in update at the top of the products so that you guys would know how the day went on. So check back tonight. I'll put it in probably after about 8 hours after this is over. Okay, so this is the first time I'm trying the concealer. This is the Hourglass Vanish brand new concealer in the shade Cedar. And it's got this kind of flat teardrop shaped, yes, wand. And I went in to get one of two shades a little bit deeper. And I ended up with this. So we're going to see if it's a little bit too light. Now, I swatched it on the back of my hand last night. It's a tad bit lighter than both my Armani and my Too Faced concealers, but it's not as light as both of the Jeffree Star concealers that I have. So I'm hoping that it can blend in nicely, because I feel like you can kind of go up and down in shades with concealers and it'll still work. All right, I'm going in. And you know, this is one of those things where I don't know if I need a little, I don't know if I need a lot. We're just gonna go in conservatively, and I don't know how quickly I need to blend this, so I'm going on one side at a time too. All right. I'm trying to get somewhat up close. Someone just asked me about eye cream. What kind of eye cream do I like? So I have talked a lot on my channel about Kiehl's avocado eye cream, which I love underneath makeup. I think it's great. And it's actually, in comparison, you break it down per ounce, or 0.25 ounces, which is usually what concealers come in. Oh, my lighting just got dim. Sorry. It's actually not more expensive than most drugstore concealers, eye creams like Olay. You know, it seems like it is, but it's really not. So I'm going to go in just right here on my darkest spot with just a little bit more. I do that quite often. And I also have talked a lot about the La Roche-Posay Toleron, I don't know how to say that word, in the little pump bottle. I think it's really, really good too. So I'm trying not to get it on my eyelid, but the sponge kind of dragged it up there because I already primed my eyelid, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is it's brightening. If you look from one side to the other, that is really brightening. So I might want to go down a shade, unless, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is that too brightening? It actually doesn't look bad. It might be more yellow than what I usually like. I mean, look at how dark this, I have corrector on, you guys, and I still have dark circles on this side. Looks really natural. So we're going to see, as I'm concealing this side, if I get little creases right underneath here, because that always happens. And then I have to kind of press them out with my finger before I go with powder. I don't look like Donald Trump. Thanks. Let's see. So the color, okay, I'm hearing from you guys that the color's working. So, and I don't know if you can see, I have two little tiny red dots right here from some milia that I had that's healing. So we'll see how this covers that. So I feel like you really don't need a lot, but you know, I mean, if you follow me, I don't apply a ton of concealer underneath my eyes anyway. Less is more and layering is better. I'm sorry if the lighting fluctuates. It's just, you know, these live streams using the webcam, it's just not ideal with lighting. Luke, I just see his tail behind me. Okay. Okay, this is good. I cannot wait to see how this wears throughout the day. I pulled those curtains closed a while ago because the sun just beams in here if I don't close them. And he's just got his little head poking out the window, trying to see. Okay, I have one tiny little crease under there, and that's it. This is shade Cedar, C-E-D-E-R. And for reference, I wear 3.5 in Armani, Armani Power Fabric, and light beige in Too Faced, but both of those are deeper than this shade. the Too Faced being the deepest. Like the Too Faced I can use underneath my eyes and on my face. The Armani is a little bit too light to use on my face. It's probably perfect underneath my eyes. This is a little bit lighter than the Armani, but I'm kind of liking it. So, oh yes, my sponge is damp. Yes, sorry. I forget all these little details. I just take it for granted, you guys. I'm so sorry. So this is Cedar. This is not the shade that I went in to get. Let me put my powder on, the infamous Nakia Joy powder, and then I'll go in and tell you the description of this shade and the shades that I was looking at. And I'll tell you about the 2 shades that I was gonna get and why I didn't get them. So Natty wants to know how I can do makeup when I have a stuffy nose. My skin makes this very weird texture when I'm sick or with a stuffy nose. So people would know I'm sick. I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer for that. I think it depends on how stuffed up I am. I don't know. I mean, I can't guarantee that there will still be makeup on my nose by the end of the day. Because I mean, I could be blowing my nose. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have watery eyes today, so that is a miracle, but it's just working. I feel like I've gotten through the bulk of it already, and this is just kind of the residual part. So is this lighter than the Armani? No, the Armani is lighter, and I need a little bit more of it. I feel like this covers a little bit better, but I don't know yet. Like I'm seeing some crinkles underneath my eyes that I don't feel like I see with the Armani or the Jeffree Star, but that could be just because I didn't get enough sleep last night. So I'm going to have to do an update on this after I wear it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because I don't necessarily feel like that's the concealer. It could just be because I didn't get enough sleep the past couple of nights, you know? All right. So I've dipped my, hey, Luke. I've dipped my sponge into the powder and just kind of tapped it off a little bit. And now, like I'm pressing out just to be safe, the wrinkles and now I'm taking this powder. I'm not baking. I'm going through this in case some of you have not seen me put on powder underneath my eyes. For some of you, this may be pretty darn repetitive. I had a viewer one time tell me that I needed to, did she say get glasses or something when I did my makeup so I wouldn't have to scrunch up my forehead? And I was like, I'm not scrunching up my forehead because I need glasses. I'm scrunching it up because of just the shape of my face. Like when I do that, so I stretch out my face. The things people say. And then I have to always pat out creases here so that I don't get a permanent crease, you know, so I don't set it in with the powder. So that's a little tip if that happens to you with your powder. Okay, so this is, I know it looks insane right now, okay? It looks like I'm applying 1,000 pounds of powder. But this is literally what I do. And it sets my face. I'm probably inhaling a gallon of powder, but that's okay. The only crinkles I like is on my fries. That was good, Amanda. So what happens is you press this into your face and it just becomes one with your skin. And this is actually what's funny, how Nakia Joy applies her powder too. And I didn't realize that until I watched her video long after I had her powder, but this is just the way I've always applied my powder. And then I take a fluffy powder brush. This is my BK Beauty. And I just dust off any excess so I don't have just, you know, a pile of powder sitting on my face somewhere. It makes my makeup last longer than just dusting it on. And if you just dust it on, it just kind of sits on the surface. So this just meshes everything together really nicely. Now, if you feel like you look too powdery. Like if you're drier than I am and you feel like you look a little too powdery, I have powder all over my leggings right now. You can always take a facial mist and lightly mist your face. Sometimes I do that anyway. I'm just in my office and I don't have facial mist in here with me, but sometimes I do that. So now, guys, I was going to apply this product that I can't apply now because I put powder on and it's a cream bronzer and I totally forgot. Okay, so oh, hey! The Honest Beauty review is in here. She said she tried the Hourglass and it made her under eyes look crepey and accentuated lines. Okay, so maybe it's not just because I didn't get sleep. We're going to see. Yes, I do like the Hourglass, the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Powder. If you do not follow the Honest Beauty review channel, you should. It's a great, great YouTube channel. Hey, Heather. I'm using the Nakia Joy sponge. So, and the Nakia Joy powder. And everything will be linked in my description box, you guys. And listed. Well, most of it is already. I gotta get this powder off my leggings. This usually does not happen to me, but I'm just sitting in kind of a weird position. So, okay, I was going to use this today because I've been loving it. Thanks to Jamie Page, I now love the most expensive cream bronzer in the world. Probably not in the world, but it's the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. Have any of you used this? Oh my gosh, it's so easy to use and so beautiful, and I meant to use it, but I can't use it over powder because I really need to use it between foundation and powder. I'm going to have to use this in a video coming up, which I kind of know what video I'm going to use it in. It'll be, I think, before the end of the month. So I will be using this. I'm just going to go ahead and use this Fenty bronzer since it's powder and I have it sitting right here. I have not tried the Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. Hey, Frugalista Blog, also a great YouTube channel. Got some YouTubers in here loving this. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. I have not tried Focallure makeup. No, they've emailed me a few times, but I have not tried any of their stuff. I probably should, I guess. Sounds like it's pretty decent. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm taking this Fenty Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Private Island, and I'm just using that very quickly. But I am going to use one of those liquid blushes today, just so you guys can see, like, you know, in real time how easy it is to use. Amanda is asking, how far in advance do I film my videos? It really varies depending on what's on. Like, this is unusual for me to film today for Thursday because I only have a day in between to edit, and I don't really like that. I'm way too type A for that. I'm kind of a weird creative type A person. So I really like to batch film if I can. Ideally, I like to film 2 or 3 videos in a row that way, and have them filmed at least 4 or 5 days in advance. That way I can edit, batch edit, and just have things done in advance. Because I don't like to wait until the last minute. And then if I've got, you know, something I'm working with a brand on, I'm ahead of schedule for that. That way I can work on that. So, you know, this is this way just because of the holidays and everything. So right now, I'm 2 days ahead, which is not good, but I try to be at least 4 or 5 days ahead if I can. But I have not tried that First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado concealer. Actually, no, I did try the First Aid Beauty Avocado Concealer a long time ago, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. I don't remember what I didn't love about it. I feel like it was either the tone, or it didn't conceal as much as I wanted it to. I can't remember. I just remember I it went in my just okay drawer. Okay, so I am using the Daniel Sandler watercolor blush in Caress right now, and I'm using it with my BK Beauty 106 brush. I love, this is a foundation brush, but you can use it for anything, and I love it with this specifically. Again, everything's linked down below. Or if it's down below for you, I don't know how it is right now, but it will be if you click out and click back in or whatever. Let's see. I prefer for foundation, somebody asked me about the BK Beauty foundation brushes. I like that tapered one a lot, a lot. And I really do. I really have been enjoying her brushes a lot. It's not just because it's Lisa. It's just, I think the brushes are really good. I am putting brushes in my lifestyle favorites video that I am filming today, but I'm going to be filming a brush video too. I'm sure when I have that on my calendar this month or next month, like my top favorite brushes. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. So I take this and drop, this is the texture of water. I just take this and I drop one drop, and then I kind of just take the rest and clean off the tip basically onto the back of my hand so that there's no residual blush lingering, so the cap doesn't get messy. I mean, you can wipe it with a paper towel, but you don't have to if you do that. I have never used the M liquid blushes, Janny, so I don't know how these Daniel Sandlers compare to those. I would love to try them, but I'm not sure. So Maria has ordered this shade and everything. I can't wait for you to get it and try it. So you have it sitting here, and I just take this brush and just start swirling it onto the back of my hand. And you can see how it's just starting to, in the reflection of the window, look like it's drying. It is. And you're just going to start bouncing it on your face. That's how easy it is. And then do it again. You probably could go ahead and go over to the other cheek. It's just such a subtle wash of watercolory looking beautifulness. It's beautiful, and it really lasts all day. So I have forgotten this was on the back of my hand before, you know, and just gone about my business and have left it there and have washed my hands and it's been there. So I don't know what it is about this brush. It's just like the perfect size. So you could technically layer powder, you know, blush over this if you wanted to, but you really don't need to. And I'll just kind of take that sometimes. But I mean, that's it. And I still look, so my hand is stained. Like it's totally, and it's the exact same texture as my other hand. I mean, it just literally does nothing. There's no stickiness, no anything. Zainab, I think I'm saying that wrong, is asking if I use the same Too Faced light beige concealer under my eyes and on other areas of my face. And do I use light beige in their foundation as well? Yes and yes. So yeah, I can use light beige in their concealer on my face and under my eyes. And I use light beige in their foundation. But the light beige in their concealer is a little bit different than, it's a little bit lighter than the light beige in the foundation. Here's something odd. Here's a tidbit. If you have ever seen Brooke, my daughter, who is pretty darn tan, she also wears light beige. I went to get a new foundation with her and they tried to match her in store. And thank goodness I was with her and she wasn't with her friends, because they tried to match her lighter. And I was like, I wear light beige. I'm pretty sure that's not the right shade for her, because they were matching her. And no, it wasn't dead of summer or anything, but she's still darker than I am. And they were putting her in, like, it was either a shade or two lighter than light beige. And I was like, mm-mm. So then they went to light beige, and somehow that works on her too. And so we basically wear the same shade of foundation somehow. And I still am not quite sure why, but it does work on her. So it's very weird. Oh, Crystal Jean, I'm glad that you are enjoying my 2019 favorites. So I'll have another one on Thursday. I am going to do my lifestyle favorites, which is going to include a little bit of fragrance and some brushes and just general lifestyle stuff. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that, but I am. I'm going to do it. If y'all aren't sick and inundated of favorite stuff from me, why can I not open this product? This is the second time I've tried to open this today. I'm going to get it. I mean, it may go crash into the floor. You may be witness. This would be the second video in a row where I've had product break on me if that happens. Okay. I got it. This is not easy to open, in case you didn't get that from that. But this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Threesome in the shade Naked, which is the medium one. They have a deeper one and a lighter one. This is new. And I'm just going to use the highlighter really quickly. And I am so sorry, but wait, hang on a second. I'm going to use the Sonia G Mini Cheek from her Sky Brush set and just hope that it comes back in stock, because this is my favorite highlighter brush. I can't stop using it. It's just such a perfect size. So I've actually been kind of liking this little set. I don't know. I wasn't sure if I would. Every now and then Urban Decay comes out with these little mini palettes, and they're so great for travel because they have a bronzer, highlighter, and a blush. And I love the shade blush. And the bronzer is actually, I mean, it's warm. It's not going to be a, but like I just did one swatch of each of those, and it's got some pigment in it. It's not going to be, what was I just saying? Was it the bronzer? Oh, like you won't use it for contour too. It's just a bronzer. So yeah, so that is this. And I think I already put this in my description box as well. I mean, I've got makeup all over this office. It's crazy. So behind me is kind of a work in progress, by the way. I don't have frames on those two pictures back there yet because they are such an odd size. So hopefully the next time I'll have frames on them. So Natty has not tried much from Urban Decay aside from the setting spray. I have a lot that I actually really like from Urban Decay. I don't know when that happened, but yeah, I've really been liking Urban Decay. I am going to do just kind of a light and easy look because we're getting kind of close to time. And thank you for liking my background. It's just kind of an eclectic mix of things. I think I'm going to use, this is the Charlotte Darling palette, the new one. I'm going to use this and also use this Hourglass Scattered Light in the shade Reflect, which I've not used before. So I'm just going to kind of do an easy look, and I'm going to use this shade here as my transition and kind of just deepen it up a little bit. Oh, that has some pigment. Was not expecting that. Okay, tap that off a little bit more. You know, I saw that Wayne Goss did a video recently titled something about how Charlotte has changed the formula of her shadows, and I don't know which palettes he was talking about. I'm wondering if it's this one. This is also BK Beauty, this brush. So this is pretty. It's not too orangey. Amanda is asking if I used a damp sponge for under eye powder. Yes, I used the same foundation, the same sponge as I used for my foundation. I'm going to go ahead and go underneath my lash line with that same shade, just because I know I'm going to use it there. I feel like everybody under the sun does their underneath their lash line last in their routine, but you know, sometimes it just makes sense to do it when you're in that same shade, you know? I mean, Luke is just having bath time right now, right here, during my live stream, not a care in the world, right? Okay. Did you just hear me say that? And I'm just going in very, very lightly. I don't really, you know, I'm kind of keeping it casual today, but I really want to use this Scattered Light, which is going to dress it up. But I don't smudge out my lower lash line too much. I don't know if I just don't feel like I have the face for that or what, but I just usually don't. And I'm really anxious to see about this concealer. So, you know, I'm going to be wearing this not just today. You will be getting an update on it. Okay, so Crystal says she can't even tell those photos aren't framed behind me. Thank you. Let's see. I'm being asked about the difference between bronzing and contouring. You read my mind. I have a video coming out soon about that, or I will. I'm actually well, I was going to film today, but I had the live stream, so that's going to be filmed later this week. What was my first Urban Decay product I ever bought? Asks Amanda. Probably the primer potion, the Urban Decay primer potion. Don't hold me to that, but I feel like that could have been. Like, what do you think he's looking at? The door's closed right there. There's nothing over there. He's just staring. I would like to be my dog in my next life. Heather says she wants to be a dog in her next life. I mean, I would like to be him. Look at how scraggly he looks. He is due for a groomer visit. I can't stop wearing these blushes. I can't. Every time I've got a drawer full of blushes, which I've been debating on doing a declutter. My last declutters didn't do that well. So I'm like, do I really want to do a declutter? Do people like seeing, do you guys like seeing declutters? Or I don't know. I'm just thinking about what I want to do because I've got things I need to go through, or I don't know, a vanity tour or something. I don't know. I'm using this deepest shade now just to give a lift to this outer corner. Some of you are asking about how I've been getting this little lift to this outer corner, and I also want to do something more in depth on this, but this is kind of what I've been doing, which is nothing scientific, but super easy. I'm basically just going from the outer half of my lid and flicking out. If I do a tutorial on this, it'll be much more involved than this, and I just blend, really. And so what happens is if you do this and it looks very unfinished and weird right now, and you just kind of keep that blend going up, you see what I'm doing? I mean, it looks very, very rough, but what happens is when you put something on this inner corner or this inner 2/3, Luke just busted out. I think the mail's here. It just comes together. So you could make this bigger if you wanted, but you don't have to. And you could actually bring it in if you wanted to bring it into the crease. Okay, so I was saying something before I started on my eyes. Declutters. I think Luke was waiting on the mail. I think that's what I've determined. There's a shadow over here that's making these not look even, but they look even in my mirror. This eye is more hooded than this eye also. Like there's unevenness going on, but that's my eyes. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like declutters do well, but I feel like I did one, I don't know, it's been a while, that did just kind of okay. And I've been kind of like, do I want to do them again? I don't know. Oh, I'd like to know that. Is anyone else doing their makeup along with me? I would imagine a lot of you are probably at work since it's like midday, but maybe you're eating lunch. If so, what are you eating? This is the Scatter Light and Reflect from Hourglass, and I'm just taking my finger and I pressed it in, and I have that here, and I'm just pressing it onto the inner 2/3. Like almost all over, but not quite. And then I'm going to blend that a little bit more. So easy. This is when I get quiet. And I have 2 Buxom products for my lips. And I just it's kind of a pat press motion for the lids. I'm hoping you can see that. shade actually looks really, really good with this palette. I'm not even sure if you need it because, there are shades in here. There's a couple of shimmers in here that would accomplish this, but it does give more sheen than what's in here, So I think I'm going to take this shade right here, the second to deepest shade, and just kind of light. Oh, that has a lot of pigment too. I mean, man, just kind of tap this in here and blend it together a little bit. I really didn't intend on going this heavy, but sometimes that just happens. So we do have, oh, that's what I was saying a while ago that I just totally got distracted, was that I have a whole drawer full of powder blushes, but these liquid blushes have been just calling to me, and I can't quit using them. I can't. So I guess for right now, they're just, my favorite things. So I'm going to keep using them. I'm missing a brush. This is not good. I hate it when this happens. It's like, we have our go-to brushes. I mean, are you guys like that? Do you have your go-to brushes that you use for certain things? Even though I've got a ton of brushes here. So this palette does not have a, I usually use a matte highlight shade, but it's got a shimmer, so we're going to go with that. And inner corner, brow bone. And I think I'm just going to, let's see, what takes me the longest when I apply my makeup? I'd like to know that from all of y'all, actually. What takes you guys the longest? So we have brows. I would say, I feel like normally it's my brows, but that has not been taking as long for me because the new brow has been doing its job really well. The brow growth serum, for me, it's probably, well, eyes are just like skin, foundation, primer, concealer, that whole deal in general. So I don't know. I guess I would have to say just the whole, I don't know. I guess a tie between eyes or face. It depends on how elaborate I get on my eyes. It could be any or all of the above. I know eyes could take forever, but I mean, if I'm doing just like a wash of color, then, it doesn't take long at all. So I'm going pretty easy with the eyeliner. I'm just taking it and smudging it on this outer third, and then I'm going to take a brush and smudge it some more. Nothing precise, just to get a little bit of lift on that outer third. So, and I do feel like I could blend that eyeshadow a little bit more. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I'm getting a lot of people saying that, listing off some of their favorite YouTubers, me, Lisa J, Risa, Marnie, Angie. There's not that many people out there for women in their 40s. And so I'm glad that, some of us can help you guys out, because things do change. And it's important to have people out there to represent our group, It's so funny because I'm so used to looking in my magnifying mirror when I'm doing my eye makeup and I can't see to do it because that bright light, I'm so used to using it, but I can't do that when I'm on a live stream. Well, in the 30s too. Okay, so I have a couple of comments here about being in the 30s too and having us, which is awesome because things do change in the 30s, and there are so many younger YouTubers that they're just more. That was a weird noise. They're just more focused toward. They're trying to be a lot younger they're trying to appeal to the younger crowd. You know what I mean? And, you know, you do need people that are going to give you that advice, the realistic stuff, the realistic beauty that you can take and wear to, you know, to work and in real life, you know? Okay, so I'm using this by Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush Mascara, and I am twisting the brush. So if you guys haven't seen this, it's got this brush, trying to hold it up. Okay, it's got the, holding it right in the middle of my face. It's got this brush that if you twist it, the brush twists. I've only used this like once, and I need to use it more. So I did put on a, yes, Abby Bliss White is a great channel too. She's so funny. She is really, really sweet and has a smaller channel and is growing and does a lot of luxury type of reviews. Luke is just barking. At what? I have no idea. You can see the concern is written all over my face. Yes, the baking. And you know, there are some YouTubers that are even in their 30s that still do all the baking. And I'm like, how? Maybe I just have creasier, more wrinkly under eyes than these people. I don't know, but I just do not even get it. Do not. And I don't know. That's just me. Okay. So I feel like I have lashes here, but you cannot see them on camera, like right on this inner half of my eye. You can't see them. Where are they? Okay. Does it look like I need more blending on this side? I can't tell what this camera is showing for my eyes. You can tell me. I can take it. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for just a second, and then I'm going to comb it out with my lash comb. And in the meantime, let's see. I know you're getting a great view of the side of my face. Hi, Heidi. You're here. It's live. Heidi was wondering if it was live or if she was talking to herself. Crystal thought I was early 30s when she first found me. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. That is so sweet. I get that comment sometimes and it just makes my year. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Heather, I will help you anytime with, I'm assuming you mean social media stuff. Or do you mean social media stuff? Okay. Does that look even? I can't tell. Okay. Oh, I just got a consultation request while we were sitting here. I did powder under my eyes. Scotia Bell asked, do I powder under my eyes? Hi, please, with what? I used It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Powder. So today I used the Nikia Joy Cosmetics powder. I use a damp sponge. I actually have a video on that, and I have an entire playlist on under eyes, and I have another playlist on powders that can really help. But yes, I do. I have to set my under eye concealer. I have to, because my under eye area has texture and it will crease otherwise. You know, all these creaseless concealers, if you have texture under your eyes, they're going to crease. So let's just forget the whole creaseless thing. They're going to crease unless you use something to set it, whether it's a setting spray or it's a powder. I mean, that's just life for those of us that have these issues or that are of a certain age, you know? Oh, and you got the moonstone ring today. Of course, I don't have it on in this video. I mean, go figure. You got the moonstone ring. Oh, I hope you love it. I hope you love it. I mean, I love the thing. I really wear it almost all the time. And I knew when I came in here, I forgot to wear the rings I wear all the time. And I feel kind of naked. It feels weird. Yes. So, I mean, I don't bake underneath my eyes, as you saw. If you are just stepping in, I did apply primer, foundation, powder. You can see if you watch the replay exactly how I sat underneath my eyes. Okay, I am using the Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner in the shade Hush Hush, which is described as a cinnamon. I don't know how this is going to go. It looks kind of nude, but let's see. I'm going to take a sip of water first because I'm really thirsty. But yeah, I mean, I hear people, you know, when they get a concealer and it's supposed to be creaseless, just, you know, bash it. And I'm like, it's probably just not going to be creaseless. They should probably just not claim that concealers should be creaseless. Amanda is giving me suggestions for a video and says I should do a get ready with me caking on the makeup with the big V concealers under the eyes and fake lashes and overlining my lips and 4 pumps of foundation and 4 shades lighter on the concealer and glitter. Oh yes, all the things. So I'm going to go light-handed with this because of the gloss that I'm putting on over it. Okay, I'm actually not going that light-handed and it doesn't seem cinnamon to me. It seems like a warm nude. Does anybody have this shade? I'm normally a little more lively in these things, you guys. I just can't breathe. And you got the city lips and it is amazing. I'm telling you guys, and people are like, I don't know if I want to spend the money. I'm like, spend the money. You will not regret it. I swear, spend it. I try not to be an enabler. I mean, I know I'm, you know, I have a channel and people say, you know, you're an influencer or whatever, but my job, in my opinion, is to help you make better buying decisions, whether it's to tell you not to buy something or to tell you that something is good, that I think something is good, because what works for me may not work for you, right? But there are certain things that I'm like, everyone would like this. I don't see how people would not like this. The City Lips is one of them. I love them. I think they're great. And I just noticed such a huge difference in how my lips look when I sit down at my makeup table before I have it on, and then when I blot it off to go put on my lip liner, which I did not apply it today. And I can tell. I can't talk and put lip liner on, you guys. Sorry. Does this look cinnamon to you? Mm-mm. Okay, now it does. Maybe because it was new, it had like a coating on it or something. Okay. Okay. The number 7 Lift and Illuminate. Okay, so I've been told to try that. And so it is, I have the other number 7 powder, the other number 7 pressed powder. And I can't remember what it's called offhand. And I really like that. And then the Flower Beauty powder to me is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. So I do need to try the number 7 Lift and Illuminate powder if it's also a dupe. So yes, I suggest Nude York for the city lips. Nude York and Sun Diego. Those are my 2 favorites. I just really like those shades. Nude York is a little bit warmer and more kind of a, I don't know, warmer, peachy, golden nude, whereas Sun Diego, can't get the name straight. Sun Diego is more of a like pinky peach gold, kind of a brighter, springier shade. But I mean, I don't know. I wear them both underneath and on top and, you know, whatever. So this shade is called Sarina, Sarina. Again, everything's listed, linked down below. I don't know if you can see, this has like some shimmer to it, but you know, Buxom, it's not going to be overly shimmery. It's not going to be overdone, but I was just, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I have to have it. Um, let's see. I smell it. I'm trying to read your comments. Okay, this looks really good with the liner. I wish you guys could see better on this camera. Maybe someday I'll get the like professional streaming camera that's like over $500. I just haven't done that yet. There's just so much equipment, you guys. Especially when you're streaming in another room than you film in. Okay, that's pretty. I like that. I think City Lips has an Instagram page. I'm pretty sure they do. And Heather, no, I have not tried Charlotte's Classic Eye Powder Pencil. Wow. I thought I'd tried every Charlotte Tilbury product there was. Yes. So if you have tried the Buxom products and you're curious about City Lips feels like nothing compared to this. So there is some stinging and cooling with Buxom glosses. You don't feel that with the City Lips at all. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people really like the City Lips, because they do plump and hydrate and moisturize, but you don't feel them, which is really, really cool. What was I going to do? Oh, you know what I was going to do really quickly? I was going to put on just a tad bit of finishing powder, because to me, I use a little bit of finishing powder. I feel like I have a hair on my lip. Hold on. That was a good face for you guys. So I feel like it just, instead of using a setting spray, which most of them that are geared towards my skin type, they have a lot of alcohol in them, and I don't want to use that every day. But putting on just a light layer of some kind of a finishing powder can help set your makeup a little bit more and can kind of diffuse everything together. Now, if I had contour on and maybe I put on too much bronzer, it would kind of even everything out. So I just dip. This is my Sonia G. What's this called? Master Face Brush from the Sky face set that's always out of stock on Beautylish. Wish they would get it back in stock. Anyway, and I just swirl it over everything that's already been done. And this is the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Powder, which is kind of somewhat of a dupe to the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, which is my holy grail finishing powder. So okay, so I have a comment asking about Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder being the best for blurring imperfection. Is Nakia Joy's even better, or which is more good, compact or loose for hiding imperfections? It's really powder dependent. So I really, really love the Charlotte Tilbury. It is not as good for mattifying my personal complexion as the Nakia Joy. But if you're more oily combo, I mean, I'm oily combo. If you're more dry or normal, you might really prefer the Charlotte Tilbury, and you've got portability factor there. But it's really good under the eyes. If you are more oily combo, or, you know, sometimes just fight that shine in your T-zone, this is, to me, hands down better than the Charlotte Tilbury for that. But they both really, really blur the pore. I mean, I have no pores showing here. Like, my pores typically show here and here. It's like they're gone. And, you know, part of that could be from the two primers, because they're both blurring primers. But, you know, that with the powders, it's just like, gone, you know? So I feel like I've got like fuzzies everywhere. But the Flower Beauty powder, that flower in the white compact. Not that, because they have some loose versions. It's the Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder in the white compact. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. I talked about it in my very first dupes video. So if you haven't seen that video, I have some great dupes. Actually, I've done 2 dupes videos and I have good dupes in both of them. But that I showed them side by side, the Charlotte Tilbury and that Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder in the compact. I cannot tell the difference between the two. And you can still order that powder online. I have the shade Porcelain, which I'm not fair. I never buy anything fair or light or whatever. But I have the shade Porcelain in the Flower Beauty, and I have the shade 1 in Charlotte Tilbury, because those come closest to mimicking a translucent powder for me than any of the other shades. I don't like tinted powders underneath my eyes, and those just come closest to, they look translucent underneath my eyes, and I am light medium skin tone. You know what I didn't do? I did not go into the Hourglass shades. Hourglass concealer shades, because I was going to give you the descriptions of the ones that I almost went with. I'm so stopped up. Let's see. Am I behind on the chat? Let's see. I love the Bye Bye Pores, the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. I love the way it looks on the skin, but it can give flashback. That is my one drawback with that powder. I'm having issues talking today, but aside from that, and I feel like I've heard from some people that it doesn't give them flashback, and I'm like, how? Because every time I've used it, and there was some video I did a long time ago where I put the pressed and the loose version of that powder on the back of my hand and just did this, and I took a flash photo, and it was just like streaks of bright white on the back of my hand. So Chrissy, you're so awesome. She always reminds everybody to leave a thumbs up for the video before you leave the chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Amanda says all the powder made me stopped up, more stopped up than before. So yeah, so the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores, I only wear that on days when I know I'm not getting pictures taken, which is most days. But let's see, Hourglass Vanish Concealer. Nothing is autofilling on Sephora for me right now. Okay. So let's see, the shade that I have is Cedar, and it is light with peach undertones. And I don't usually wear light concealers. So I do feel like, it looks good right now. We're going to see how it wears and if I look wrinkly compared to my other concealers though. Let's see. Hang on. I have a couple of questions here I'm going to get to, but I want to read you the shades that I was going to get. One was Pearl, light medium with peach undertones, and the other was Sepia, light medium with neutral undertones. Now, when we swatched them next to this one, they just looked a little bit deep, and one looked really, really pink. I don't know. So that's why we went with this one. So I'm going to play with this one a little bit more throughout the week. And I'll have some kind of an update. I may be doing a Sephora video towards the end of the month where I might just do some haul updates and something. I'm not sure. And we'll talk about that in that video. So I've only tried the fragrance version of that, and I had to get rid of it. It was just too much for me. And am I planning to ever release my own line of products or do a collaboration? Melissa, I have collaborated with Sigma before with a favorites brush set, which is still on their website. So I have done that collaboration, but as far as like something, I don't know. It would have to be the absolute right thing. I don't have anything coming out as far as my own line right now. I mean, I'll say, I mean, you know, I do have my social media business, which is my own. It's not a product and it's not beauty related. And I am working on something for that. But as far as beauty stuff goes, I don't have anything in the works right now. So I don't have anything right now. Bubbles Hill wants to know if the flashbacks with the bye-bye pores happens with the loose or pressed. I recall it happening with both. And if I recall correctly, I think it happens worse with the pressed. Let's see. All things Wendy Lee, do I have any admins to monitor for chat or trolls? It depends. I have someone that that pops in pretty regularly to these, and she usually ends up being my admin. And she's not here today, so I haven't seen any trolls come in today. And Ashley's asking what a troll is. That's somebody who just comes into chats or in anywhere. I mean, it could come into forums or message boards or wherever, just to make rude comments, rude or ugly or nasty comments, just to do it. And they kick them out or hide them or report them or whatever. So if something like that happens, I'll usually kind of just nominate somebody that I'm very familiar with their name or whatever, or take volunteers. So I don't have a regular person except for Gail, who usually does it because she's usually in here, but she's not in here today. So I don't understand those people either. I just feel like they have to have very, very sad lives. So, yes. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. Oh no, I did not see those comments. I did not see them at all. So yeah, just let me know. Yeah, the next time I'll nominate somebody. Just let me know. Wait, okay, before we go, people are saying there are possible Hourglass powder dupes. I have been hunting for some, but I have not found any yet. So if you guys know of any, let me know. I have, yeah, Ashley, so the troll thing it doesn't happen a lot, but actually it usually happens towards the end for some reason. It's sometimes men. Very interesting. And they're usually kicked out pretty quickly. Most of the time I see it, but sometimes, you know, I'm talking or I'm applying something and I don't see it and you guys see it, and I'll usually see your comments talking about it, but sometimes I miss it. So yeah, fortunately it doesn't happen too much. So anyway, guys, Essence Glow to Go palette. Okay. I'll have to check that out. That sounds promising. All right. Well, thank you guys. We had a great live stream today. This was great. What is my hair doing? Thank you all. I always wonder if I'm going to actually be able to finish my makeup while we're in here, because just the talking and the doing and all that, it gets to be a lot. So I'm so happy you all were in here with me, and I am going to be doing an update of how this wears throughout the day, and I will put that in there probably in about 8 hours, 7-8 hours, something like that. So look for that in my description box, and I will have all the products that we talked about as well, and the shades that I'm wearing. So yeah, that sounds great. Awesome. I'm so glad you were here. And I'm also going to have a link to where you can donate to the Australia efforts, because I think that's important. And sometimes we get distracted, you know, we mean to do it and then we forget. And just, I feel like any kind of a reminder is good. So I'm going to put that in my video as well. So thank you. And I will see you Thursday when I upload my next video, which will be best of 2019 lifestyle. I'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.